Welcome to another episode of Dustin's Life 365. Always fixing something. I mean, Murphy's Law, if it can happen, it will. So we disked this field a week ago, a little bit more, and it's actually looking really good, and gonna be posting a video about that whole process, actually, kind of in the middle of it. But went to move the pivot when we were disking, and it didn't want to move, tower 4. And so now I got a little bit of time to diagnose what's going on, and I'm going to take you along with that. This is one of my pivots. That's a Cat 3208 diesel motor. It runs that gear head and the well. And then all of the pipe comes up through this center tower here. Here's my electrical box, but that is the pivot. Some of you are like, yeah, I know, but there's a lot of people that don't. So I'm just going to crawl up on this panel, and if you can see, we count the towers. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can see it jogs that way because it's an 8-tower pivot. And so that tells me tower 4 is not moving. What's going on? We'll go check it out. I drove out here to tower 4, and none of those have moved. They're still sitting on that green that I didn't disc. Now, if we turn around and look, those towers have moved. So all the way out to tower 8. So if we come over here, easily see they moved off of that green strip. So those moved, these did not. So that tells me this right here is my culprit. Now, what you first look at, driveline. Driveline is on, okay? These are old style disc U-bolts, basically. Those are all in place. That's a fairly newer motor, or gearbox, I mean. That's an older one, but shake the driveline. Everything seems tight. Okay, why is it not spinning? A lot of times if these gearboxes go out, one will kind of drag it for a little while, but it won't keep up. So my initial thought is it is the center motor that is actually pretty warm right now. So, yep, I think we just found our problem. Ran back to the shop real quick, and I do have a center motor. This one was sitting in the shed. It is not new. Held on to it for some reason I can't remember, but we'll throw this guy on and see if we can't get it to move. This is a pretty easy one. That's a newer motor too. That kind of irritates me, but oh well, quality of products you buy these days. So I'm going to throw this one on real quick to there and just see if we can't get it to move. So what we'll do is we'll start with just taking these two U-bolts off, or U-joints off, I mean. And that's just a simple shaft. These are all 3/8 bolts, so 9/16. And then we have to unwire this right here. Comes in, tracks up, and then everything runs to a cable back to that main box back there. But we'll unwire this. There's a ground and then 3 wires. So we'll unwire this, take this apart, drops off fairly easy. And just like that, I took off the drive lines, and now we will just take off these bolts here. This will all fall off. I did also take that shaft out. Had a little trouble, had to get my bludgeoning device to influence that bolt to drop out. It's just a little seized in there, but we'll get these off, drop these off, replace that motor, rewire it. It is definitely humid out here this morning. We're looking at a little after 10 o'clock, and we caught about a 1/10 inch of rain, and it's humid. So got everything here unbolted and I've got it just kind of hanging on the thread there. So now I'll just pull this apart here. So I don't want to stretch that wire at all, but I'll open this up and get into there. All right, so I get the camera here real quick and look into here. So we have our 3 main wires here and then our ground. And you'll see that the colors don't match up. So we've got red to blue on that guy. We've got red to blue on that guy. And then looks like black to black there. This other motor over here, thankfully, is blue and red and yellow. Okay, so the polarity of these motors, meaning which direction they go depending on the switch. So if we went blue to blue and red to red, it was going in the wrong direction for some reason. I don't understand it. So you just switch those 2 wires. So what we'll do is we will go black to yellow, and then we'll set it up blue to red, and get this wired in. Not a big deal at all. Easy. All right, so now take this cap off and we'll expose all the wires, and then we'll run this down. Ooh, can't quite see it. Got the camera. There we go. So we'll run this down to it. So I might pull, I'm going to probably pull it out of here just to give myself some room. And then also different style and manufacturer. So this, as far as like my plug goes, let's just get a better look at that. So this one here with my plug, okay, it screws up into it. But then this one, it needs male threads instead of female threads to block that off. So I'm gonna have to address that, because you don't want mice crawling up in there because they can chew on wires, and you don't want bugs. And then of course it's down, so moisture won't get in there, but you just never know. So we will get this rewired. All right, so we have it wired. Checking, making sure my ground, because that's on a stud or a post. And then we went blue to red, and then yellow to black. And so this is wired up. Now I'm going to put my U-joints back on and my drive lines back on, and then we'll run back up to the center. We'll fire the motor up. So there you have it. So we've got our drive line on, everything's torqued down. This disc is a little bit loose. We'll try to tighten it up a little bit more. I'm gonna leave this cap off. We'll run back up to the motor. We'll get things turned on, see if she moves. All right, try to get in there. It's a little tight to get in there to see with the camera, but throttle, there's a Murphy switch on here, and turn the key, we fire up. Alright, so we got this motor fired up. Now I'll show you inside this box. Open up this box. This is an old Olson, but I put a mark right here. We need 480 volts to run this system. So now, forward is going clockwise, reverse is going counterclockwise. I've got it in the start position so it doesn't safety itself out like it would. But I'm going to try to run it clockwise, so we'll turn it to forward, hit the green button, see what happens. As of right now, I can't see 4 moving. So what I'll do is I'll reverse it, turn that off, go to reverse, try to get it lined back up, see what we got. So tower 1 is moving, I can see. All right, so I moved it. We'll run down there and double check, but I didn't see tower 4 moving. So that tells me that motor's not right, or it was spinning, but I doubt it. I'm guessing that motor was bad and I threw it in there and kind of forgot about it, but we'll get this shut down and go check it out. All right, so it did move. You can see on the tire, there's the dirt, and that's where it was sitting. So it did move counterclockwise. I didn't see it from the main tower. So now we'll go back up there. We'll fire the motor back up. We'll get this pivot line back up and we'll see which direction she wants to move. So also take note, I don't know if it's struggling or not, but this drive line is twisted a little bit. So we'll have to make sure and see if that's twisting, because then that'll tell me that that gearbox is struggling. So we'll run back up there, but it did move it. Okay, so that we're making progress. So the motor might still be good, but we'll go fire that back up and get it straightened out and see if we can't just get this thing fixed right now. Good news. I saw it moving. I really had to pay attention. But like I said, with the red and the blue, that motor is color-coded correctly, where the motor that was on it. So when I had it going in one direction, that 4th tower was actually moving in the opposite direction of what it should. So we'll go switch those wires, and hopefully we'll be up and good and running. All right, when we were just out here, that dirt was right there. So it is moving in the reverse direction, but like I said, I did see it. So we're making progress. We will just come over here and we will get these switched out real quick, and should be back in business. So yeah, I went red to blue and red to blue, but we'll switch these around and we'll go red to red and blue to blue. And that's why I didn't put that cap back on. All right, so zoom in here real quick. And now we have blue to blue and red to red, and then that yellow went to the black. So now we'll head back up there, getting lots of steps in thanks to the old ranch pickup. But yeah, we'll go back up there and we'll see if she moves the correct direction now. Nearest I can tell is moving clockwise, forward position. Looks like it's got a 6. I'll have to keep my finger on this switch, wait for it to line itself back up, then it won't safety itself out through the emergency switch, and then we're in business. Towers 5 through 8 are really out of line, so I'm going to have to walk it back and forth now. We'll go down there and just check everything out, and then we'll tidy up that wire, because we don't want A to get wrapped up in it and then it gets caught in the drive line. That's obviously a problem, so we'll get that done now. There we go. She's moving on her own. Good news, going in the direction that I want it. So Now we'll put that cap back on. We'll get this tidied up. Like I said, I do not want that to get caught up in this driveline as it's spinning, especially if you had hay growing up, or, you know, some guys have corn and all that, but I just do hay. But if that gets caught up in that, you're definitely having problems. So let me get this all wrapped up and we are winning. So we'll get this out of the way, and then this is the project. We're going to double disc this. I disced it, like I said, a couple 7 to 10 days ago, something like that. And we're going to disc it again, get rid of all of this, give it a good seed bed, and then we're coming in with some sorghum Sudan. So get these tidied up in here real quick. See if I got some zip ties and we can get this done. I don't remember if I've got any zip ties in here. Plenty of bolts. No zip ties. So I'll run back to the shop, get some zip ties, and we'll get this tidied up. And then one thing I will do is I'm going to put a bunch of electrical tape around that, because it's just a different type of a seal there. I guess that's what we'll call it. But we'll get this buttoned up, and I'm just going to say this project is done. So, you don't know what this is good for? Absolutely nothing. Junk trailer. All right, so we went back to the shop. Thank God, back to zip ties. So we will get this cord buttoned up. I'm not sure exactly how I want to do that to keep this loop out of the way. And then we got some electrical tape. We'll get that end, try to get it secured in there as well. All right, so there we have it. I got 2 sets of zip ties on this cable right here, and then we also got that cord, the best we could anyway. Working on this pivot, these older pivots, a lot of times stuff doesn't match up. This pivot's a 82, I think. It's as old as me. Olson. So, but yeah, here we go underneath. So this motor had female threads. This has a male, or yeah, anyways, backwards, but you saw it. So I just took a bunch of electrical tape. That'll keep any mice, any bugs, hopefully out of it, spiders. We don't want anything in there. And then this cord here is not hanging except for right here where it goes into the motor. So that's about the best I can do. So thanks for riding along on this episode of Dustin's life. And we got us a center drive motor put on a pivot, and now it moves. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next episode.